This is another Turbine Guy Network special investigative report.
Hey folks, Turbine Guy coming back at you, continuing the series examining Julissa Thaler's arrest and the potential incompetence of the OPD. Now, the first couple videos showed Pickering, the guy who was arrested, and Thaler in the back of the cop cars, you know, even when the cops drove her home so she could clean up, then when they had to pick her up again and drive her to the police station. But the last video showed that even though we had tons of probable cause, the cops still drove her home. How whacked is that? And that was Sgt Wittke, well, former Sgt Wittke, now the deputy chief in this police department, who said, yeah, go ahead and drive her home. Because the coppers drove her home after they first had her, they realized that they ended up having to go get her once they popped the trunk of the car. Now we get to the point of, in the police report, this is all out of the police report now, apprehension of suspects. So what do? They go across the street at the BP station and organize themselves. And the crazy thing about that is the BP station is right across the street from the apartments. How do they know she's not in there looking out a window to see, oh my goodness, right? So 4 more of them show up, including Chief Farniak and the Deputy Chief Fisher, who retired, who Sgt Wittke replaced as Deputy Chief after they decided the 2 reasons they were breaking in was because Thaler was there and she posed a danger to others, and that she might be destroying evidence. Wait a minute. Evidence they drove her home to be allowed to destroy? Ooh, crazy. So they got up there, they announced themselves, there was no answer, and what do? Boom! They kick the door in. And then they go and clear the apartment. But the craziest thing of all is that they did shut the washing machine off. Why? Once again, to make sure evidence they sent home didn't get destroyed. So the coppers hurried down the hall to the office and took a look at their video footage. And the office personnel told them that they got Thaler and an unidentified male with a large backpack heading down one of their stairwells at 8:45. 8:45, leaving the building. And then, 9:15 right here, we got the coppers with Pickering out on the street, splayed with guns drawn. So they got the guns drawn out there, and it turns out Thaler's right up the street too, and they end up going and arresting them. So it actually turns out to be a couple issues of timing right here that we don't have the answer to. They were out from 8:45 to 9:15, and that's about a half an hour. And literally, they were picked up right across the street from the apartment. Literally, where they came out the garage area, out across, it's like right across the street. What were they doing for that half an hour? They came out together, according to the report, and then they were picked up together because they were both splayed out on the street in the same place. And the other question of time is, I have it about half an hour on the videos they gave me from when they dropped Thaler off to when they picked her up. But if they were outside for half an hour hanging out and she had time to do the laundry and whatever else, what video footage is a Turbine Guy missing? I'm going to have to go back, check my timing just to see. Now, one other thing we don't find in any of this that they don't talk to you about is the fact that, boom, right here, we can see that Thaler not only purchased a shotgun, but she had a pistol as well. So they drove her home unknowingly that she had a pistol, but they dropped off someone who committed her heinous crime and who could very well have been armed to the teeth still. And they had no idea where she was for at least half an hour, but I'm going to say probably more like 45 minutes or more. If you really think about it, if they would have just looked at all that obvious probable cause right in front of them and cuffed and stuffed her right when they should, they wouldn't have had to bust into this apartment. They wouldn't have people splayed all over the street a long time later. They wouldn't have had to have guns drawn. They wouldn't have had to put the community in danger. Because, as I said, they couldn't see the obvious probable cause. To the Turbine Guy, maybe to you too, this was an obvious cover-up. They're happy that nobody found out that their deputy chief up here, sergeant back then, actually said, yeah, go ahead and bring her home, with all that obvious probable cause in front of them. The leadership of the police department, including Chief Farniak, certainly don't want you to know not only how badly they screwed up, that they didn't bother to hold anybody accountable, that they put the public in danger unnecessarily, and more. You let me know in the comments what you think. Turbine Guy, signing off.